Hi everyone, this is Tanya from Flying Dog Studio. Thank you so much for joining me as we work on an experimental piece with Graphitint's Paint Pan set. Now, if you watched a previous video, you saw that I used a Derwent water brush, and I'm not going to use the one that came with the set. I'm going to use the larger one, but I am going to try to do this as if I were taking it on the road with me. And I swatched these colors in a previous video. I will put that one down below, just in case you haven't seen it. And we didn't mix the colors. Instead, we layered them in that video, which is what we're going to be doing with this piece. So I'm going to be looking for shadows. I'm going to be looking to create depth. So I'm going to only be using one color. And the color I'm going to use for that is the dark indigo right there. Now this is the color. If you did watch the video, it's one of the colors, the swatching video, it's one of the colors that you have to be careful if you put too much water in the well, because you can dig down into the paint. So that was something I had to be mindful of through this entire piece. But we're going to start just by looking for all the dark areas, and then we're going to come back in a future video and add the color on top. So this video is simply getting a value of the reference piece. And my reference piece came from a website called upsplash.com, and I'm going to put that link down below. I'm also going to give credit to the photographer that took this piece. You might want to get on Upsplash and take a look at his work. He had some wonderful reference photographs. And the wonderful thing about Upsplash is that you can go on and use pieces, and as long as you give the photographer credit, they don't charge you for anything. There's no copyright infringement. They actually give you permission to do that. You do have to put in the search bar that you want to do the copyright-free pieces, and that's what I did. So this was one of those copyright-free pieces that you can use on there. Not all of them are copyright-free, but this one was. So I'll put that link down below. If you are starting a piece like this where you are adding in all the shadows and the values, what you want to do is look for the darkest areas and start adding those shades in first, but don't add them as the darkest shade. Instead, do kind of a medium wash on top. You can always come back and add more later, but sometimes it's difficult to lift those colors off of the paper. So always start light and then come back and add more on top. And if you're working with this Graphitint from Derwent, you're going to want to let those layers dry before you add more on top. If you add more on top when it's still wet, you are going to pull up some of the pigment you already have down. One thing I did was I kept this brush on hand. So for me, working with a water brush is something that's going to take some practice. I'm not used to doing that, but it's something I want to master. So you will see me attempting this in future videos. And I will try to finish this piece in the upcoming videos with a water brush, but I do keep that crutch of my size 8 from Royal and Langnickel on hand. It's dry, and if I get too much water, it's easy to take that brush and just tap it on top, and those bristles will soak that water up for me. And this is one of those spots you can see it's super shiny, and it has just a little too much on there for me, so I'm picking up the brush and I'm tapping on top, and that soaked it up just beautifully. I keep it on the towel there, and that kind of pulls the moisture away from it until I need it again. So that's just a few little tips for you. I'm going to be quiet here and let you watch me paint, and I'll jump back on every now and then to explain some of the things I'm doing. I wanted to hop on and mention a couple of things. First of all, I am working on 100% cotton paper, and this is 140-pound cold press paper. I started this piece. I originally had a video that I was going to start with, which was me drawing this piece out and inking it in, but I was using my old desk. For those of you that have been on before, you know that I had a desk previous to this. This is my new desk, and it has a darker background. The other one turned out too bright, and I couldn't adjust it down to where it didn't hurt your eyes when you were looking on it. So we've ended up with this one. But I did use, in that video, I did more of a loose drawing, and it's a loose inking, so I'm not really worried about lines being precise. And that works well for me because of the arthritis I have. And I'm not going to say my arthritis, because one of you did point out it's not my arthritis, and you're right. I don't really want it. I do have it right now, but it's not mine. If anybody else wants it, you're welcome to it. Don't recommend having it. But so my lines are loose, and I used my Lamy pen. And in that Lamy pen, I have the Catfish ink. I do have a video for that as well, explaining the ink that I use, so I'll put that down below. And that ink is waterproof. So I do have another video where I am using some ink that's not waterproof, and I use that to get values, and that is one method. But when I drew this out and inked it in, I let it dry for a couple of days before I came back and started working with the watercolor on top. And I shouldn't say watercolor, I should say graphitint. You guys are going to get me for that. But I did wait a couple of days before I came back and put any water on this paper. And once I did ink it, before I started to come and put the color on top, I did take one of my mop brushes, and I went over the entire piece of paper with water on both sides, and I let that dry. And that allows the sizing to get out of the piece. You don't want to lose all of the sizing in it. That's kind of what binds the color to the paper, but you do want to get some of that sizing out. It just, the stuff on top, it just helps that color to spread a little bit better. So I don't stretch my paper. I will have a video up in the future showing how I get my paper to lie flat, because as you guys know, I don't tape my paper down. So I will have a video on that coming up in the very near future. Okay, this is a part I really wanted to show you. Earlier I mentioned you start with your dark areas first and put a medium wash on. Not your darkest wash, even though it's your darkest area, but a medium wash. And then when that area is dry, you can come back and add another wash on top. But again, you don't want to get it too dark. You'll see me put color down, it will be too dark, and I go to the side and tap my brush on the towel and squirt a little water out, and then come back and I'm able to spread that color. It works just like watercolor in that you can put successive washes on and it starts getting darker. Also, like watercolor, I noticed that when you put the color down, it's lighter when it dries. So you may think, I can put a couple washes on and get by. You may have to put 3 washes on of the same color in order to get the shade that you need. So that's just kind of a heads up on this particular medium. I did enjoy it though, and I can't remember right now exactly how many washes I put on those areas, so we'll find out together. As I pointed out earlier, this particular well, if you get too much water in it, you'll dig down into it and add too much color to your page. And this is exactly what happened here. So I'm going to bring this brush to the rescue, my size 8 brush, and got a little water on it, and I'm just lifting it up. And there's actually enough color in that little spot that I was able to paint the other window as well. So that's one good thing about Graphitint. Yeah, I squirted a little water over there. That's where my water was over my well. That is one good thing about Graphitint. When it is still wet, you can use some water to pull those colors right up. So you saw how dark it was at first and how well that just kind of lifted right off and got to the shade that I wanted. So that is a wonderful thing about these particular paints. And in my opinion, it's a little easier to lift those colors with this Graphitint than it is actual watercolors. So I have just a few more shades and a little more values to add into our piece, and then we will be finished. I wanted to run something by you guys. You let me know what you think for future pieces that I do, but I was thinking about possibly putting my drawing of this up on my blog. I have a blog where I do have some art stuff up there and some explanation of how to do things. But if you would like for me to put the actual drawing up on the next piece that I do so that you can use that as a reference and you don't have to stop the screen here or try to go find my picture I used as a reference out on the interwebs, then let me know and I will be happy to do that, and you will be free to trace that or however you want to use it. And I can also do a video to explain how you can trace it either on your paper if you want to print it off, or if you want to use your device as a light box, I can do that too. So let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll be sure to get that done in the next piece that we work on. And if you have worked with Graphitint, please put any suggestions down below, or what you think of the actual paints, if you like them or didn't like them. I did have someone comment on the last video that I did that it would probably be a good medium to use with other mediums, and I agree with that, and I'm definitely going to try that. But let us know in the comments, and I appreciate your being here, and as always, I will see you in the next one.